네, 오늘 What Remains of Eden Finch 한번 해보도록 하겠습니다. 좋아요. 하지만 감도 조금 바꾸고 갈게요. 아니야, 괜찮은 것 같아요. 딱 요 정도가 개인적으로 Eden Finch. 오케이. 이게 줌이고 넘기기.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you. And I'm sorry.
살아날 때 나 놓쳤잖아. 잠깐만.
Beginning with the house.
영어 다들 잘하시죠? 더빙 다 알아듣지? 오,
Someone had put up a
그래.
chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
넘어갈 수 있어 나도? 그건 아닌 것 같네요.
My
미씨,
brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
오, 신기하네요. 진행 방식이 약간. 하지만 조금만 줄일게요. 너무 부담스러워 기분이. 괜찮을지도 모르겠지만은 약간 느낌이 부담스러워.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
집이 되게 특이하네요. 와, 근데 신기하다. 한글화가 엄청 잘 되어 있네. 심지어 그러고 보니까. 뭐야 이거?
Inside the mailbox
어렵다.
were bills from 7 years ago,
긴급,
marked urgent,
즉시 개봉.
open immediately.
하지유가 7년 전께 들어있었다. 응? 꺼내서 보면 안 돼, 우리? 안 된대요.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
아, 장례식 후에 돌아오지 않았다. No trespassing? 지나가지 말라는 뜻인가? No. 감시 카메라가 작동 중입니다. 라는 소리 같죠, 대충?
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
자물쇠를 열 만한
Maybe she
키죠,
thought I'd
저거는.
know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
요것도 대단한 것 같다. 글자가 이렇게 보이잖아. 어디가 길이죠? 여기 가볼까? 저기 뭐가 있는데? 없는데? 꽃이었구나. 뭉개져가지고. 여러분들은 고사양으로 게임하세요.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw
운전하지
footprints.
않았다. 동물 발자국을 몇 개 봤다. 더빙도 한글이면 참, 오, 사슴이다, 사슴. 뚜따뜻, 뚝도의 뚜따뜻. 숲속의 숫사슴. 점프 키 같은 건 없고요. B 버튼이 저런 거 들어가는 그런 거 같고.
The
이 길이
truth
맞나?
is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back.
뛰는
to
거
it.
없나? 잠깐 반대쪽이 너무 궁금한데? 아랫길은 뭐였을지. 달리기 키가 없어. 조금 답답한데 이러면? 이러면 좀 답답한데. 하지만 편안하게 즐깁시다 우리. 급하게 하지 말고 편안하게 천천히 즐겨봅시다. 달리기 키가 너무 마렵지만 중요한 건 그게 아니니까요. 스토리를 쭉 따라가 봅시다. 여긴 뭘까? 이게 너무 궁금했어. 괜찮은 거겠지? 길이 이어지는 걸까요? 또 양갈래인데? 꽃이 예쁘네.
The woods
지금 저
around the house have always
위쪽이거든요.
been uncomfortably silent,
기분 나쁘게 고요했다.
as if they're about to say something but never do.
말할 것 같지만 절대로 말하지 않는 느. 아, 어느 길로 오냐에 따라서 느낌이 좀 달라지네요. 결국 오는 곳은 똑같은데 그 구간마다 약간의 뭐랄까 분기점이라는 같죠?
But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
하지만 지금은 가족에 대한 질문들이 생겼고 대답해줄 수 없다. 스토리 보이는 게 조금씩 달라지네요. 하나로만 진행합시다. 궁금하다고 가보지 말자 이번 다음부터는. 오케이? 여러분들의 몫으로 남겨두죠. 아니 내가 또 다시 플레이해도 괜찮고. 질문하고 싶지만 남아있는 가족이 없다. 대충 이런 느낌이었습니다. 개구리, 개구락지, 낡은 자동차, 얕은
The
강.
house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
집은 나의 기억 그대로였다. 꿈에서 나온 그 모습이었다. 집 쪽으로 갈까 아니면 차고 쪽으로 갈까? 집 쪽으로 갈게요.
As a child, the house
어렸을
made me
때.
uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
힘들었겠습니다. 근데 불편해 보이긴 하죠? 약간은 불편해 보이긴 해요. 잠시만요. 이거 약간 바꾸고 할게요. 네, 됐습니다. 아, 오빠가 미싱이었죠.
I asked Evie
깜짝아.
once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband.
근데 왜 남편이
I was 6. It seemed like an odd joke to me, even then.
무섭다. 왠지 무섭다.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew
아,
exactly what the
17이래요.
words were. I was afraid of the house.
두려운 것이다. 우리에게 집이라는 존재는 언제나 쉬어갈 수 있는 곳. 그런 식으로 생각했던 두려운 곳이라. 울타리도 뾰족뾰족하고. 쉴 수 있는 곳이 있다는 건 좋은 걸. 나도 두렵다 갑자기. 문을 열기가 두려워요. 앉아서 잠깐 쉬자 우리. 싫대요.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
괜찮아 이거?
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
집이 나를 기다리고 있어서 느낌이 들었다. 차고. 공포까지는 아니겠죠? 게임이? 여긴 뭐 없나? 요 뒤쪽 길이 좀 있네요. 뭔 소리야? 괜찮은 거야? 못 보겠어.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
얘는 강아지 출입문을 기어도는 게 더 편해. 쉬웠다. 차고라.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
우린 떠났을 때 전원을 꺼두었다.
For the first time in years,
정말 오랜만에 처음으로
I felt like I was home.
집에 있는 느낌이 들었다. 그 두려운 집에서 뭔가 집에 있다는 느낌이 드는 처음으로.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
왜 떠났을까? 갑자기서?
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
여기 뭐가 있다.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
에디. 증조 할머니가 에디구나. 휠체어는 할머니 거였겠네요. 아무래도.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
그래요. 이를 너무 많이 드러낸 미소라.
Even the
살짝
fireplace
그거
had
하죠.
a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house after it sank.
원래 집이 부서진 다음에 그 벽돌로 요걸 가져왔다네요. 요걸 벽난로를 지었대. 사진. 바이올린과 바이올린인데? 자, 저 턱받침 보이시죠? 거인이 있나? 거인이 사나 이 집에? 저 정도로 이 정도로 큰데 턱받침이 필요한. 죄송합니다. 열어볼까 이거? 이거 문 열어? 문 여네요.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
마지막에 도대체 무슨 일이 있었길래? 이 집은 뭐 들여다보자. 무서워. 뭔가 보일 것 같아서 무서워. 올라가 볼까요?
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms.
아,
Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
나 조금 이해가 안 돼. 나 조금 이해가 안 돼요. 스토리가.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
여기 같이 지낸 그 이름이 적혀 있네요. 연도랑.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
그래요. 어릴 때는 자기가 보고 그거 한 게 전부니까. 자기가 집에서 본 게 전부였으니까. 핀치. 여기에 이제 우리 주인공이 나오네요. 아닌가?
The last time I was in Edith Senior's room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
그림 그리는 사람. 아까 그 1층은 뭐였을까? 한번 봅시다. 내가 무서워서 안 봤던 거니까 이거는 봐도 괜찮아. 그래도 무섭다.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere. in the
서재안
library.
어딘가에 매장되어 있었다. 무섭다. 이거 공포 게임 아니죠? 나 그렇게 무섭냐? 여긴 난간이 부러져 있네. 그리고 전부 저 박쥐들이 많네요. 여긴 다 눌러봤고. 몰리.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with. If she hadn't
47년에
died in
죽었다.
1947.
그런 건가 봐요. 그냥 살던 방을 냅두고 여긴 열려있네? 나중에 가보자. 살다가 죽으면 그냥 없애버리는? 문을? 그런 건가 봐. 여기도 마저 보고 갑시다. 브라바라?
Barbara was
Barbara.
a child star for 2 years. Until America
2년 동안
grew out
아역
of it.
스타였. 인생이 담겨있는. 다들 그쵸. 브람스 같다.
Edie's father Odin built the original
Odin.
house.
원래 집을 지었다. 이거 어려운데 조금?
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
잠갔다. 언젠간 열리겠죠? 이 끈을 따라가 볼까? 뽑아보고 싶다. 그치? 너도 그렇게 생각하지 않아? 아직은 아닌가 봐요. 내가 아닌가 봐.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
바바라. 얘가 바바랑가 봐요? 핀치 하면 나윈이 먼저 생각나죠? 다윈이 이제 핀치 세 가지고 막 진화론.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
여기서 많이
I think
놀았대요.
my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
잠그지 않은 것을 가끔 후회한 것 같다.
Louis
이게
told me there
열리는
were
건가
secret
보다.
passages, but I never believed him.
나는 결코 그를 믿지 않았다. 누가 봐도 이 열쇠죠?
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
비밀을 정말 잘 숨겼다. 올리는 거다.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
근데 뭐가 튀어나오거나 그럴 것 같진 않고
From
그냥
the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
밀턴 오빠.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
뭔가 지금 회고록 같은 건가? 우린 왜 이렇게 불안해?
But I had no idea what was behind that
뭐가
door.
있는지 전혀 몰라서 나 눈 감았어. 누구야?
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
결국 이 모든 것이 어떻게 될지 전혀 몰랐다. 깜짝.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here
에디가 여기서 많은 시간을
before my
보냈다.
mom sealed the doors.
엄마가 문을 잠그기 전에. 몰리 핀치.
December 13th,
나의 기차.
1947.
나는 곧 사라지겠다.
Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen.
옛날 이야기다.
It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
먹을 거 찾아보았대요.
The
수업을
gerbil food
먹이는?
was dry, but I didn't mind it.
상관없었다. 배가 많이 고팠구나.
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
참이나 잘해요. 호박? 먹을 수 있어?
My Halloween candy was all gone.
아... 할로윈 사탕이 없어졌어. 물고기? 설마. 크리스토퍼를.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I
그래,
held back.
잘했어. 크리스토퍼. 여기 문이 열려있. 바깥을 한번 보자. 불가사리? 먹는 거 아니야? 문이 열리나? 화장실. 확실히 애가 많이 작은 것 같죠? 거울도
I
안 보일
kept
정도면?
eating and eating.
어릴 때 치약 맛있긴 해. 초코맛, 딸기맛 막 그런 거 있잖아요. 어릴 때 치약. 그날
I ate a lot of things that night.
이건 먹는 거 아닐 텐데.
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
창밖에서 지저귀는 소리가 들렸다. 안녕?
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
고양이가 됐어요. 어떻게 된 일이지? 이게 점프네요.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really
조용히
scared.
있으려 했지만 새가 정말 무서워했다. 새를 쫓아가 봅시다. 안녕? 어디 갔지? 방금 뭐 봤어요 혹시? 창밖을 지나오면서? 집까지 어떻게 가지? 오. 얍. 얍. 얍.
I jumped and I almost got her.
펄쩍 뛰어서 거의 새를 잡을 뻔했다. 오잉? 오.
Now I was was up in the big tree.
큰 나무에 내가
I
올라가.
promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore.
더 이상 올라가지
All I
않겠다고
cared about
아빠한테
was eating that
약속했다.
mama bird.
새를
I could
먹는
tell
거에
she was
관심이
getting
쏠려 있어.
really tired.
어디 있는데요? 그래서 놓쳤거든요, 나. 나 소리를 놓쳤어. 아, 저기 있다. 이거는 방금 전처럼 가면 되겠네요. 오잉? 저기까지 가야 되는데? 이쪽으로 못 가. 뭐지? 어렵다. 조금 어려울지도. 근데 나무 진짜 잘 탄다. 딱대?
I gobbled her up,
그것을 먹었다.
and suddenly I was an owl.
갑자기 올빼미가 되었다.
All I heard was the wind.
그럼
Then I
소리만
heard
들렸다.
little teeth nibbling in the grass.
난 안 들리는데. 어디?
Rabbits.
토끼? 토끼. 나무를 통과?
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons.
얼굴을 들고 내 발톱 사이를
I
통해 내
swallowed
얼굴을
him up,
보는
and I didn't chew one bit.
삼켰다.
Then I flew off to find something.
더 큰 것. 더 큰 똥. 샀어.
A
안 들려.
mama rabbit.
엄마 토끼? 좀 멀리. 네. 이거 내가 조준해야 되는 거였어? 자동인 줄 알았었는데. 됐네요.
She was almost too big to carry.
너무 클 정도였다.
I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
질식하기 시작했지만 먹는 걸 멈출 수 없었다.
And suddenly, I was a shark.
어? 떡벌떡. 신선. 벌떡.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
어느 때보다도 더 배고파졌다. 이거 좀 어렵다.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
어디 갔어? 이거 역방향으로 바꿀 수 없나? 먹은 거 아니야, 이 정도면? 가기. 와. 어려운데 나 이거 안 되겠는데요? 좀 그런데. 피해가는 거구나. 됐다. 양.
I tore off her flipper and it tasted really good.
테이스트 굿. P I see you. 아이고 놓쳤다. Where are you? I see you. Here's Johnny.
Grabbed on tight.
응?
When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
뭐야? 이렇게 이동을 하는
Now I
거네요,
was a
일단.
monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
사람들의 냄새를 맡아. 뭘까? 저 위에 뭐 없나? 사람.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
아니, 안 조용한데요? 뭘까? 뭘까요, 이게?
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
멈추고 싶었지만 멈추지 않았다. 뭘까요, 이게 존재가? 뭐야? 녹슨 면도날 어쩌고 좀 기다려볼까? 따라봐. 저거서 지금 똑같은 말을 하는 거 보니까 내가 되었다. 무서워. 뭐지? 먹히는 소린 건가? 돌아가네? 버그인가? 잠깐만. 버그인가? 버그인가요? 아니요, 잠깐만요. 잠깐만요. 선생님? 뭔가 문제가 생긴 것 같은데. 요? 껐다 켜. 아, 진짜 뭡니까? 새끼? 아니요. 지금 내가 뭐지? 핀치 가를 얘기하는 거죠, 지금. 껐다 켜봅시다. 다시. 참나, 진짜. 참나. 카나리아 같다, 그죠? 스페로우라구나. 빠르게 진행합시다. 이거 어디였더라?
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
뭐지? 빠르게 진행이 아니라 돌아왔나봐요.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting. I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time
아닌데?
here
봤던
before
거죠?
my mom sealed the doors.
요거다.
December 13th,
가자.
1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I
새로운
wanted
걸
to tell
보긴
somebody about
일단
what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry,
아,
but I
빨리
didn't
먹어.
mind it.
가자, 빨리 우리. 할로윈 캔디. 밥 줘. 잠깐만, 바로 진행하면 어떻게 되지? 우리 알잖아요. 뭐가 어떻게 되는지.
I ate a lot of things that night.
사실 많은 걸 먹지 않았지. 다 먹어야 되는 거구나. 다 해야 되나 봐요. 다.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
밥 줘. 나가게
Mom,
줘.
can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late.
자,
Go to sleep.
Then I heard chirping outside
Oh,
my window.
드디어.
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
난 고양이가 되었다.
And suddenly, I
мяу.
was a cat. I tried to be calm,
이번엔
but
놓치지
the bird was
않겠다.
really scared.
오. 안쪽을 볼 수 있어요? 놓치지 않겠다.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
오. 우와. 어디가 또 한눈 팔려서.
The babies were all gone.
모두 사라졌다. 오.
I jumped and I almost got her.
거의 잡을 뻔했는데. 아, 아쉬워라.
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about, I gobbled her up,
먹었다.
and suddenly I was an owl.
아우.
First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
어디 있냐 토끼. 나와라 토끼. 아, 시야가 너무 불편하다. 고개 숙이고 있는 느낌이야.
Rabbits.
라곤. 자, 하나 컷.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons.
한 번 더 잡아야 되고,
I swallowed him up.
물개도
and
한
I
번 더 잡아야
didn't chew
되고.
one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
아, 시야 진짜 불편하네.
A mama rabbit.
아, 조절 너무 잘했다. 그죠?
She was almost too big to carry. I
그리고
started
숨이 막혀
choking,
죽었죠.
but I couldn't stop eating.
죽은 건가? 아닌가?
And suddenly, I was a shark.
떼굴떼굴, 떼굴떼굴. 팔딱.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals.
있다. 꼬리만 놓고 이거는
I tore off her flipper and it tasted really good.
아, 이쪽으로 조절하는 게 훨씬 편하네. 잡았다? 시야로 옮긴다는 느낌으로. 아. 우와. 와우. 우와. 어디 갔어? 내려갔다가 올라오면서.
Grabbed on
그치.
tight. But I was
이게
so
상어의
hungry, jumped out of the water.
그 시기다.
When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
그것이 상어의
Now I was a monster and I smelled people everywhere.
사냥법이다. 조금씩 합시다. 저번처럼 또 똥깡 부리면 안 되니까. 큰일 나면 안 되니까. 다리가 하나뿐이라.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
나 소리 좀 줄일게요.
I wanted to stop,
멈추고
but
싶었지만
also
멈추지
I didn't.
않았다. 내가 그러니까 이성 뭐라 해야 되지? 모르겠다. 나도 뭔 말하는지 모르겠어.
His belly with a rusty, his belly with a rusty.
잔인해. 이번엔 실수하지 말고 이쪽으로 나갑시다.
last passenger.
마지막
I was
승객
still
후에도
hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new.
뭘까요?
Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
그쪽으로 헤엄쳐갔대요.
I slithered onto the
꿈틀꿈틀.
sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
잎 안으로 들어갔다. 무엇이 있을까 그 안에? 오. 어라? 집 아니야?
I got closer and closer.
그니까 내 방이잖아. 그래 내 방에 내 방인데? 뭔가 있다. 아니었다. 뭐야?
All
내
of my
위장들이
stomach started growling,
으르렁거리기 시작했다.
and suddenly I was
갑자기.
me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep, but it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know
그래.
I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
에디라면 분명히 믿었을 것이다. 몰리. 이 침대
I
밑에는
can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
있었겠지. 부엌이 가면 고양이다. 가볼게요.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories.
그렇죠.
Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
어렵다. 뭔가 깊은 사연이
I
있어
spent a lot of
보이는데
time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
증조 할머니 방에서 오랜 시간을
We got
보내
along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
엄마로부터 숨기 좋은 곳이었다.
Her room was like a museum.
박물관 같았다.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune
노르웨이 쪽이구나.
and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse.
오딘
His
핀치.
wife Ingeborg and their newborn
가문의
son,
저주래요.
Johan.
아내와 요한.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his
집을
family
가지고 바다로
and his
떠났다.
house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the
근데
house and
사고.
Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly,
딸과
step ashore on
그녀의
their new home,
남편이
Orcas
살았다.
Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new
오딘
family cemetery.
핀치는 새 가족 묘지에 처음 묻힌 사람이었다.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
실제 사진 같이 생겼다가 오딘.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
그러니까 오래전부터 문제였던 거다. 이렇게 하나씩 보면 되겠네요.
When Eva
뭔가를.
told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed.
아,
She could have, but she didn't.
그 용 그게 미끄러서
Even
만들다가
in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
엄마보다 젊어 보였대요.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
분홍색 욕실. 개구락지.
It was a pretty big trace.
그래. 오, secret. This is a secret of this bathroom.
There's a secret in this bathroom.
이 욕실에는 비밀이
In the last
있다.
place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden
천장 안에
in
있지
this book.
않다. 이 책 안에 숨겨져 있다. 오, 현상실인데요? 사진 현상하는군. 필름. 요즘에야
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished.
카메라를 내려놓은 적이 없었다. 요즘에 그냥 띡 하면 나오는데 옛날에는 용에게 담그고 막 다 그랬대. 이러고 괜찮은 거야? 보트 칼빈
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never
쌍둥이
talked
동
about him.
결코 이야기하지 않았다. 제 책이 To Command Center. 커맨드 센터래요?
I guess
여기가
my grandma
커맨드
didn't like
센터.
history any more than my mom did.
할아버지는 엄마만큼 가족사를 싫어했던 것 같다. 이거 쓰면 뭐가 있겠다. 아니네. 안쪽에 뭐가 있는 거구나. 일기.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The
내
thing I
기억.
remember
그걸
is that
바꾸지
when he made up
않았다.
his mind, that was it.
다리 다쳤대.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At
형은
Barbara's
그런
funeral,
존재였대요.
we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't.
맹세했고
I
형은
think
그렇게
Calvin
했다.
always wanted to fly.
날고 싶어 했다. 그렇게 했어?
Sam, Calvin, dinner's ready.
Coming! But that day,
뛸 것
he
같지.
finally made up his mind to do it.
안 뛰었으면 좋겠는데.
I told him going around was impossible.
네, 물리학적으로
Maybe
불가능할걸요?
if I hadn't said that,
형은 할 수 있다고 했고 했나 보네요. 그거를.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
진짜
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
바람이 불지 않았더라면
then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
간다.
The day he made up his mind to fly, and he did.
가슴 아픈 이야기다.
Calvin's story
Calvin.
felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same
그냥
thing.
좀 이상한 어드한 이야기. 유쾌한 얘기는
After
아니죠.
the funeral,
적어도
Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
절반을 밧줄로 막았다.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
다시 한번 들어간 적이 없다. 오? 오? 아, 올리는 거야, 이번에도. 야, 폭 박아버리네. 오. 가보자.
The passages were a pretty tight fit.
많이 좁다, 야.
They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
뭘까? 좀 무서운데? 아이씨, 깜짝아. 봐봐라.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
바바라가 아역 스타라고 생각했다.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her
그
afterwards.
후에 그러니까 연예인들 그런 류가 많이 힘들었다고 하죠. 힘들겠지. 해피 버스데이 바바라. 생일 축하 많이 놓여있고 뽑고. 이건 뭐지? Stories.
Of all the stories people wrote about
Bed
Barbara's
for
death, I'm
stories.
surprised Edie saved this one.
바바라 핀치의 놀라운 결말.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up.
인기가 떨어졌다.
But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans.
근데 목소리가 안 나왔나 보다, 그치?
Her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
아, 그치.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan
뭐지?
and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
진짜, 저건
Now
진짜.
that was a great scream.
It
뭘까?
was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter.
돌봐야만 했다. 컨벤션으로 갈 수 없어.
Was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right!
어떡해.
Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
꽤 귀찮은 거 맞아?
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't
돌아오지
returned.
않았다.
So Barbara went to look for him.
바바라가 찾으러 갔다.
On cue.
약속이라도 왔다.
She reached for the music box.
왜 손을 뻗었다.
And as she wound the
계속.
key, she listened for Rick.
계속
But the house was silent.
집은 고요했다. 빅, 괜찮아?
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
핏자국도 있잖아. 손 잘잘. 잘잘. 피손.
gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
이거 릭이 릭이 그냥 그 비명 소리 뽑아내려고 장난치는 걸 것 같아. 뒤를 못 돌아보겠습니다.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear! Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your
이
scream.
맞지?
I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
난 화가
Then
났어.
act
나
furious.
너무 화났어.
All I'm getting from you now
난
is
너무
hurt,
겁먹었어서.
confused, and you
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
목발.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show.
자꾸 일어나니까 그거 아니야?
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah!
뭐야?
Okay, I'm coming up. But if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
그 갱단 아니야? 안 되는데? 그치. 빨리. 여기가 아닌가? 그치? 아닌갑나? 아닌갑네?
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
라디오는 여전히 꺼져
Orcas
있었다.
Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
칼고리 손.
Barbara turned, saw the hookman, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And he was. He couldn't get
잘 썼자. 오, 원했다.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
기어 나갈 만한군. 어디야? 여긴가? 됐다.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
여기 몰리 방이네?
She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it.
이분으로 나가나?
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
뿅!
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
빨리 내려가서 확인해야 돼. 사주 경계. 근데 갱 단이었잖아. 혼자가 아니었고. 없다. 나 눈 감고 앞으로 갑니다.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was
했지만 띵동 trick or treats.
Someone at the door was dying to
바바라와
speak
말을
to
하고
young
싶어 했다.
Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering.
속삭이는 소리를 들었다.
It was coming from inside the house.
집 안에서 들린 소리였다.
Oh dear.
아씨.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She
No?
was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. Poised for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time.
다행이다.
It
뭘
was
돌아도.
all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box was all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
어우.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
그렇구나. 이게 참 그거 하네요. 뭔가 어렵다기보다 뭐랄까 감당하기가 어렵다. 내가 감당하기가 너무 어렵다.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
그래서 오르골을 트는 걸 싫어했구나. 그럼 오르골을 틀어러 갑시다. 지하실 한번 가봐야지. 놓친 건 없겠지 뭐. 왜 이렇게 어둡지?
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
여기는 주방.
Instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
가족 대신에 추억만 남아있어. 차고. 그래서 오르골. 오르골 어디 갔죠? 지하실 문을 찾아야 돼. 그러면 여기다. 한 바퀴 돌아버렸네요. 뭐 없을 겁니다. 없어야만 합니다. Seven?
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
용 미끄럼틀. 얘다. 용 미끄럼틀이다.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once,
에디가
carrying
한번 본
packages.
적이 있다. 그
I thought
냉장고.
maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
뭐가 보여요? 아, 보여. 죄송한데 계속 왔다 갔다 해서.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
월터.
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
바바라가 죽은 후
If there's a pattern in all these stories,
돈이 있다면
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
멀리 가지 못했다.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days,
아,
I
돌리는 거
settled into a
맞죠?
routine. That's what kept me sane.
정신을 차릴 수 있었다.
Having a schedule, living for
오늘을
today.
위해
I always
황도다,
expected to
황도.
be dead tomorrow.
왜 흔들리는 걸까?
But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
어느 때와 너무 다름이 없는다고 어제랑 나 생각해보니까 너가 위에 세 개가 앞에 튀어나와 있고 저기 끝에
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to
문 반대편에 있는 괴물? 안 보여줘요?
almost friendly.
신속하게 느껴질 정도다. 맛있겠다. 나도 저거
And
먹고
then one
싶다.
day, everything just
어?
stopped.
진동이 없잖아.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone.
몸이
Maybe
많이
I got
약해져
tired
보인다,
of
그죠?
waiting. Or maybe I just got
반전
tired
같은
of
게.
being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years.
어?
I'm done waiting.
뭐야?
I have to leave while I still can.
어디를 향해 가는 거지? 땅굴을 파놨어? 먹을 것들, 책,
I know it's out there somewhere.
밖에 어딘가에 있다.
Whatever
땅굴을
killed
파놨네요.
Barbara.
바바르를 죽인 그것. 그럼 얼마나 트라우마가 크겠어. 그리고 몰리,
And Calvin.
그리고 켈빈.
Maybe this is all a mistake.
벽을 부수는 거야?
But I need to stop living the same day. Even if it kills me.
뭐지? 기차.
Whatever's out there, I want you to
기차,
know
기차 주는 거야?
I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food.
음식에 대해 감사함을 느끼고 싶다.
I don't mind if I only have a year left.
1년이든
Or a month.
1개월이든
Or a single week.
1주든 최대한 옆으로 물러서서 가자. 우리 혹시 모르니까. 그래도 새로운 날 오는 거.
I can already imagine the sun on my face.
일부러 피했는데 그래서 다 죽었어.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
월턴 내가 6살 때 죽었다. 원래 이제 만날 수 있었지만 아무도 몰랐던 거죠. 피눈물 흘리는 것 같다. 가볼까?
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
나를 감싸려고 했다. 엄마는 나를.
Maybe she
아니.
was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
어? 가보자. 왜? 아직도 다 남아있네요,
But
거의.
if she never told me about an uncle under the house,
들들이지
I can
않는다면
only imagine what
다른
she
무
was hiding.
숨기고 있을지 알 수 없는 노릇이다.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
엄마의 실수를 반복하고 싶지 않다. 쓰레기통 같은 건가 보다 여기는, 그죠? 쓰레기는 어쩔 수 없이 나오니까
Trying to bury something that's still alive.
아직 살아있는 것을 묻으려고 하다.
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two.
물에
I thought it was
잠겼어?
time I heard the stories
가
for
아니지.
myself.
걸어가고 있구나. 너무 낡았기 때문에 뭐가 없는 것 같고요. 작업 올 일은 없어 보이고.
But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse,
가족의 저주.
we made it real.
월터. 기차. 죽었어. 월터. 여기서. 다리 밟네요.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
벌써 되는지 모르겠다.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
뭐? 뭐지? 다
But I
죽어야
thought you should
끝나는
know
거야?
about your family.
아니, 아닐걸 그거는?
And the history you're a part of.
너도 포함된 그 역사를. 저기 뭐가 있거든요? 한번 가보자. 이거 맞아? 아니야. 야, 이거 아니야. 아닌데? 갈 수 없거든요? 아, 저기 길이 있었구나. 나중에 뭔가 있나 보.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do.
별 잡을 수 없는 느낌이다.
I think the
깜짝
people
놀래.
in these stories believe
안쪽에
them,
들어가야 되는 줄.
for what that's worth.
그걸 믿은 것 같다.
And when you look at the house,
그리고 집을 보면
that history of imagination,
상상력과
stubbornness,
고집과
and
광기의
madness,
역사를 보면
any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death
오랫동안
for so
죽음으로
long that I've
둘러싸여
just
있다.
gotten used to it.
라는 생각함. 램프 같은 거 보고 키나?
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
묘지로 가나 보다. 그쵸?
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but
인정이 부끄럽지만
the pet cemetery may
나는
be more
사람보다 애와도
uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
3마리는 내 것이었고 2마리는 내 잘못이었다. 어릴 때 기르는 애완동물은 참
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
월터 핀치. 어? 폴리 핀치. 아, 여기 길이 있구나.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
뭐지?
She
저게
could see
뭘까?
it
그리고
poking out of the water at low tide.
아, 집. 집이잖아, 집. 그죠?
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
매일 꿈에서 이전 집. 그래. 집을 가지고 가다가 난파당했었죠. 이게 단가?
Edie's
뭐.
side was always easier for me to
아,
understand.
오케이. 더 있네요. 돌아가는 게 맞네. 아이.
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was
문제를
just
살리기
trying to do better.
더 잘해보려고 한 것이고. 샘 핀치, 고스트 핀치, 원 핀치, 어쩌고 핀치. 다 죽었어.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did.
2명
I get
잃었다.
why she tried so hard to protect us.
왜인지 알겠다.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now.
너무 많다.
Part
엄마는
of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come
뭘까?
back
엄마는
someday and find everything out for
어디
myself.
계실까? 아니면 돌아가셨을까?
But
저자는
looking back on it now,
하지만 지금 되돌아보면 나도 나무집 같은 거 한번 지어보고 싶다.
if she told me there was going to be so much
올라갈
climbing,
일 많을 것이라고 엄마가
I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
임신 22주라고요? 임신 22주요? 배가 불룩하네. 그러고 보니까 약간 어디지? 어디로 가야 되지? 여기인가? 아, 여기 뭐가
I never
있었구나.
met
못
Grandpa Sam,
봤네요.
but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
엄마가 많이 닮았다고 생각한다.
They were both
곰,
pretty intense.
강렬한 인상이었다. 강렬한 인상을 주네요. 저쪽에 뭐가 있어 보이네요.
Instead of hiding from death,
죽음으로부터
Sam
숨는
seemed to
대신
go out of his way to meet it.
죽음을 찾아 나섰다.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all
카메라
afraid of
서면
something.
긴장했다. 우리는 모두 뭔가를 무서워한. 뭐 무서워한 사람이 어디 있겠습니까? 아무것도 안 무서운 사람이 어디 있어 세상. 자기 자신을 찍었어. 근데 카메라로. 자는 누군가를 찍었고.
Dawn, I promise you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off.
I'm over here, Dad. What?
Perfect.
이걸로 움직이는지 몰랐지.
Weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
어디 있어 주인공? 피사체가 필요야.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
히히히히.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
Nothing
아이고
quite like
넘겨버렸다.
outside.
죄송합니다.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need
내가
to remember this stuff if you want to survive.
I'll
살아남으려면
be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
뭘까요?
Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to
더
photograph?
흥미로운 걸?
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip.
딱히 더 흥미로운 건 잘
Grandpa Sven
모르겠는데요.
taught us how to fish, how to
낚시?
build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere.
콩나무?
I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time.
숫사슴? 숲속의 숫사슴을 찾으면 되는 겁니까?
Give me a minute to check the map.
총?
Let's see.
뭐야? 뭘 원하는데요? 한 번 더?
Was it? You don't need to waste any more film on me, kiddo.
오이씨 모르겠는데 표?
Could have been.
아무것도 안 보이는데? 일단 다 찍어봐. 곰 같은 게 있나 혹시? 사슴.
Good eyes, Don.
찾았다 드디어.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
괜찮아.
Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn!
오.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
특이하다. 그죠?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so-
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about.
Dad!
아이고.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
그랬구나. 방심을 했었구나. 오. 신기한 곳이다.
After Sam
그랬을까?
died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
나 이런 곳이 많았다.
inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a
없어.
stepmom were the words that I remember.
그렇대요. 다른 뭐가 있나? 뭐가 더 있는 것 같지는 않고. 그렇지. 모르겠지요. 글자가 없어지는지도 아니고 여기 있다.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here.
잘했다. 여기 와.
As a sign held up his middle
아,
finger.
가운데 손가락을 들어 올렸다. 자,
The wind picked up.
바람이 빨라졌고 놀란 고기가 났다가 신속하게
All the
사라졌다.
humans did that day was go inside the tent.
홍어가
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed
아무도
afraid
두려워하지
that
않아.
nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
텐트를 자연이 파괴할지도 모른다. 내가 바로 자연이다.
The thunder sounded much too close.
천둥 소리가
and full
너무
of angry
가깝게 들려.
power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music
분노의
louder."
힘이 느껴졌다. 나는 바람. 아,
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone,
그날 너의
just you,
생각했.
the wind, the sea and foam. But I
아,
didn't until we found you. She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
아, 사고.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
타락으로 방으로 옮겼다.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
멀리 갈 수 있는 곳. 누구도 집을 떠나지 못했죠.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation.
인도로
and got a
이사
job teaching
왔다.
English.
오,
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
산제이. 배가 나왔네 진짜로.
Religion was another thing my mom never
종교에
talked
대해서
about,
결코
but I think
얘기하지
it
않아.
helped her a lot after her dad died.
그래도 도움이 되었다.
Lewis was born a year later.
루이스는 1년 후에 태어났다.
When my dad died, I
아빠가-
don't think Mom
아빠가
knew where else
죽었구나.
to go.
가족이나
I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a
영어를
while,
가르치는 일
things were good.
한동안은
Almost normal,
좋았다.
but it didn't last.
오래가지 않았다.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
종말이 시작되었다. 밀튼.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
그림이 가득한 방. 아직 죽진 않은 밀턴. 발자국 막 찍혀 있는데 괜찮은 거 맞아? 와, 좋다. 마법의 붓. 밀턴 핀치와 마법의 붓.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
아니 어떻게 뭘 하면 되는데? 아니 이 나이 나쁜 놈들아. 나도 하고 싶다고. 진짜 뭐 하는데? 됐다. 히히히. 움직이네 자꾸. 그림이 움직이네. 뭐지? 진짜 문이 됐어.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
아, 죽었다고 보는 거죠. 뭘 그린 걸까?
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
문들을 잠궜다. 이 문인데, 이 문인데요? 뭐 한 걸까?
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
뭘 본 걸까? 그리고 뭐였을까? 뭐였을까?
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he
루이스?
graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room
그에 반해서
until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
취직시킬 때까지. 루이스.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room, except Lewis.
대마초, 물담배, 환각, 그쯤 되는 친구가. 대마초라. 합법화된 지역이 많아졌죠. 최근에 우리나라는 물론 불법이지만
Lewis'
어디를 가든
room smelled
불법이다.
very
우리나라는
familiar. That part of him lived on.
물음표?
Dear Mrs. Finch,
정신.
as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse.
뭐야?
Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
오.
He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself.
아 이거 속도 올 것
In
같다.
our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to
내 마음이
wander.
오, 떠돌기 시작했습니다.
I asked him to describe it.
제가
He said he
물었습니다.
started small,
미궁을 선택하기
imagining a
시작했습니다.
labyrinth.
말했습니다.
He'd feel his way about.
미궁을 헤맸습니다.
Then something moved.
무언가 움직였습니다.
Bats
박쥐
and toads.
그리고 두꺼비. 용이다.
And things that have not names.
뭐라고? 그리고 이름 없는 것.
He knew it was all in his head.
다 자신 머릿속 알고 있었지만
But he took it very seriously.
그걸 진지하게 받아들였습니다.
I had hoped he'd find himself.
나 자신을 찾을 것이라고 기대했지만
But he found something more.
더 많은 것을 발견했습니다. 3D가 됐어요.
I worried about him then.
통조림 공간
Daydreaming at the cannery.
공상한 것을 걱정했습니다.
I spoke with his boss.
상사에게 말했지만
But he said Lewis had become a model employee.
루이스가 모범 직원이라고 말했습니다.
Methodical, tireless, focused.
그래, 일 열심히 이렇게 하고 있으니까
Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go
너무
on.
위험하다. 내버려 두었습니다.
I
점점
even
커지기 시작하네요.
encouraged him.
공부했습니다.
It seemed very promising at first.
잘 되는 것 같았습니다.
He told me he'd made a new friend.
루이스토피아. 유토피아와 루이스를
On the
합친
edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
뭔가 뭘까?
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick.
도시를
Then he made
세웠대요.
musicians.
음악인들을 만들고
And songs for them to play.
연주할 곡을 만들었습니다.
He talked about starting a band.
밴드를 시작하겠다고 말했고 그냥은 못 보내지 바로.
And he was always humming.
항상 뭔가 콧노래를 불렀습니다.
Every day his imagination
상상력은
grew
점점
stronger.
강해졌습니다.
He no longer spoke at the cannery,
통조림 공장에서 일하지 않았습니다.
but his chopping was as reliable as ever.
절단 기술은 여느
Then one
때처럼
day it struck
실했습니다.
him
문득 생각이 들었습니다.
that all the cheering crowds,
응원하던
even the stones under his feet,
발 아래의 돌,
were all in his imagination,
기타 자신의
so he
상상이라지만
could do whatever he wished.
원하는 것은 뭐든 할 수 있다는 생각이
He held an election for mayor,
시장 선거에 나갔고
and he won.
이겼습니다.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering.
이미 배회하기 시작했습니다.
It became a game for him.
그에겐 다 놀이였습니다.
He'd conquer a city, then
도시를
immediately push
정복하고
on.
바로 다른 것을 시작했습니다.
New Louisville,
뉴 루이스빌, 뉴 루이스빌,
St. Louis.
세인트 루이스.
He started drifting away from our reality.
현실에서 멀어지기 시작했습니다.
Minneapolis.
미에
Until one day he
루이스.
forgot to go home from the cannery.
통조림 공장에서 집으로
Even
돌아가는 걸
as his mother
잊었습니다.
pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
루이스의 마음은 또 돌아다녔습니다.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
소문을 들었습니다.
handsome queen.
아름다운 여왕을 선택을 했네요. 멋진 왕자답다. 설득해보세요.
The Queen was on her own quest for
이왕이면 좀 밝은 걸로 가자.
radiant rainbows.
빛나는 무지개.
He followed the sound of her
harp.
silver harp.
silver harp. 아이고, 하나 놓쳤다. 아이고, 또 놓칠 뻔했다. 아, 하나 놓쳤네.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
황금 궁전으로 가게 되었습니다.
Even then, his logic remained sound.
완전히 지금 상상이 모든 걸 먹어버렸네요.
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
기계적으로 할 거.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater
마음보다
than
더
it.
위대한 일이었습니다. 저 사고 날 것 같아서 너무 무서웠거든요.
For someone who'd never known
현실
success in
세계에서
the real
성공을
world,
맛본 적이
I think
없는데
it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping sand,
황금 궁전의 계단으로
but the one
오르는
climbing the
진짜
steps of the
루이스라고
golden palace.
생각했습니다. 지금 내가 아닌 거야. 상상 속의 내가 나인 거지.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me.
나의 상상으로 내 몸만
It
진짜다.
was hard to argue with him.
와, 논쟁은 쉽지 않았습니다. 뭐지? 현실인데 이건? 너무 현실인데?
He began to forget the world we know.
우리 세계를 잊기 시작했습니다.
I think it
기기가
pained
돼버린
him to
거야?
remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
근로자란 생각을 하기 싫었던 것입니다.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
이 존재를 지독하게 경멸하기 시작했습니다. 깜짝아.
I still thought I could save him.
전 아직도 그를 구할 수 있다고 생각했습니다.
Even after he said he was being crowned
왕의 땅
king over all the lands of wonder.
왕이 올라 전 믿었습니다.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
아, 이거 봐. 이 벨트 끝에 뭐가 있겠어. 벨트 끝에 뭐가 있겠어. 진짜.
Including the wise Calico who insisted on
그에게
rising.
조언을 주는 유명한 캘릭터도 있었습니다. 몰리. 뭐가 있겠어. 끝에 뭔가 분쇄기가 있겠지. 통조림 공장인데.
His queen waited, holding his crown.
그의 왕은 그의 여왕 기다렸습니다. 노래 점점 커지네요.
There was only one thing left to do.
단 한 가지. 왕관을 머리에 쓰는 것. 단두대잖아, 누가 봐도.
Bend down his head.
머리를 숙이는 것. 아, 못 보겠다. 이미 손부터 많이
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
모두 그리워할 것입니다.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
멋진 사람이었대요. 그래도 이미 그 머리 숙일 때 팔 보셨나요? 이미 정상인 상태가 아니었던 걸로 보이긴 해요.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them.
루이는 게임 잘
He died a lot.
못했대요.
He was so proud of being Indian.
인도인의
I
피가
think for
흔들어
him it was a way to be
자랑스러워했다.
something other than just a Finch.
아, 핀치 가족이 아니라고 생각하는 방법이었대요. 남기는 거였어. 올라가 봅시다.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing.
짐 싸기
She waited
시작하라고.
until the day before we left to tell Edie.
전날에서 에디에게
I'm
말했다.
not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
이유는 모르겠고
I wish we'd stayed.
나는 남고 싶었다.
But I understand why we left.
이해했다.
What happened that night had been coming for a long
그 밤에
time.
일어난 일 어쩔 수 없었다.
Maybe I
무슨
should
일이
have known
일어났길래
sooner.
도대체. 저는 더 빨리 일어나야 했을지도 모른다.
But it had to end one way or another.
끝나야 했다.
All that's left now is to tell you about that last
이야기
night.
마지막 밤. 이든 본인 이야기죠. 어? 아, 칼인 줄 알고 진짜 깜짝 놀랐네. 펜.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
잔을 들고 말해.
To our final night together,
우리의 마지막
and
밤.
all our final nights apart.
우리가 헤어져
Grandma,
있는 모든
you
마지막.
know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are
술은 안
very
된다
specific.
I
했잖아요.
left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it?
복도에
The grown-ups have to argue.
선물이 있다.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last.
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
일어나. 싸웠네요, 할머니랑 엄마랑. 나 안 보이거든? 요? 보여요? 나 안 보여, 하나도. 저 이것만 좀 띄우고 할게. 안 보여, 너무 안 보여. 원래 안 보이는 건가? 내 모니터가 잘못된 건가? 아. 아. 아하, 그렇구나. 아하. 3인칭이 아니었구나.
The power had been
1인칭이요.
shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
물 많이 가지고 있었다.
When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
다른
Or
입구가
that
있었네요.
Edie had a key to it.
에디가 열쇠를 가지고 있었다. 서재의 불탈 것 같지 왜? 뭐 캔들 넘어뜨려가지고
Thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you
사라지는
leave the
것이
house.
아니다. 그래. 그건 그렇지.
Edith has a right to know these stories.
에디스도 알아야 돼.
Dead because of your stories.
아, 지금 싸우는 소리고.
Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
History of the Finches by Anna는 Finch.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were
태어난 밤에 일어난 이야기다.
That night, the tide went way,
조수가 아주 멀리 뻗어나갔지.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide.
1000년 만에 찾아온 낮은 조수래요. 조수 간만차 할 때 그 조수 간만이 좀 밀물 썰물.
Every day of my life.
저 집으로 가봅시다.
But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in,
안개가 밀려 난 길을 잃었어.
I got turned around.
헤매게 됐지. 게임 그걸로써 아마 해야 되잖아. 어차피 헤매게 될 거면 어디로 가자.
I wandered.
한동안 배회하게 됐어.
I started seeing things.
것들이 보이기 시작했어.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
아, 존재했다는 것을 잊고 있었던. 그치.
But when I saw them, they
오래된
felt
친구
like
같은 느낌.
old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
많은 것들이
Or maybe I came back to them.
내가 돌아간 것이구나. 물에 빠져 죽지 않았어.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
뭐야?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
저도 나를
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
할머니.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already
그녀는 이미 사라졌.
After that, we moved around a lot.
우리는 많이 이사해.
We both tried to make the best of it.
이런 거 해본 적 있잖아요. 바람이랑 손을 맡기는.
A few years went by.
몇 년이 지나갔다. 불어야지 흔들고 있.
My mom didn't like to talk about it,
엄마는 그것에 대해 말하는 걸 좋아하지 않아.
but she started getting sick.
하지만 엄마는 많이 아프기 시작.
The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
나는 혼자가 되었다.
The last finch left alive.
마지막 빛이.
Until I found out about you.
너에 대해 알기 전까지는 그랬지.
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our
지금으로서
eyes
눈을 뜨고 있는 것이 우리가 할 수 있는 최선책이다.
and appreciate how strange and brief all of
이상하고
this
짧은
is.
삶을 감사히 여기는 수밖에.
This journal was supposed to be for you.
이 일지는 너를 위한 것이었다.
But now I hope you'll never see it.
이제는 너가 절대로 볼 일이 없었으면 좋겠다.
I just want to meet you.
단지 널
and tell you
만나
all these stories myself.
이 이야기를 직접 해주고 싶었다.
But I guess if you're reading this now,
하지만 지금 이걸 읽고 있다면
things didn't work out that way.
그렇게 되지 못한 것이겠지. 죽었나 봐요. 또
This is where your story begins.
여기서
I'm sorry
너의
I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to
내가
be
떠난
sad
것을
that
내가
they're gone.
슬퍼하지 않았지만
I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
힘들다. 에단 핀치도 죽었다. 임신한 상태였잖아요. 그 아들 혹은 딸인 것 같고, 또 셜리 달라스. 디렉터의 옛 모습 아니면 자녀들 정도 아티스트랑 그런처럼 보이네요. 핀치 가문의 저주, 요런 느낌인 거죠. 인생에 대해서 생각을 하게 하는 그런 게임이었네요. 여러 가지 생각이 들게 되는. 스토리 따라 쭉 진행하면 되는. 네, 잘했습니다. 뭐 재밌다까진 모르겠어요. 저는 솔직히 재미는 있는데 좀 그래, 뭔가 뭐랄까 좀 찝찝한 좀 그런 편이네요. 나는 재밌냐, 게임 괜찮냐 안 괜찮냐 하면 게임 뭐 괜찮은 것 같아 할 것 같은데 잘 모르겠습니다. 어렵네요. 제프 루소. 몰입은 몰입대로 되고, 핀치 가문이 아마 계속 저렇게 되지 않을까. 에단도 죽어버렸고, 그 아들 혹은 딸, 그 자녀들이 또 자손을 낳으면 그 에단 핀치가 남겼던 그 일지 다시 그 자녀에게 갖고, 그 자녀는 또 다른 자녀들에게 점점 이어지겠죠. 핀치 가문은 그렇게 돼버리겠죠. 핀치의 피가 섞인 자들. 되게 길다. 솔직히 엄청 무서울 것 같아. 내가 생각해도 다 죽어나가는데. 막을 방법도 없고. 코알라다. 나다. 내가 언제 저런 걸 찍었지? 더 에단 핀치 팀. The End. 다윈은 못 본 것 같은데? 그쵸? 다른 분 다 본 것 같기도 하고. 네, 그러면 오늘 더 뭐였지? 리메이닝 에단 핀치? 네, 여기서 마무리하도록 하겠습니다. 시청해주셔서 고맙습니다. 다음에 또 봐요.